Hey, good morning, gang. Welcome to another live episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. I am the Outlaw, John Rocha. The lighting is a little weird in my place today. I don't know what's happening or what's going on. I'm doing my best to adjust and make it right. So this is right now the best version of me you're going to get. So I apologize to anybody who's trying to adjust their camera to see if maybe there's something wrong with their computer. It's not. It's me. You know what? It's not you, it's me. Let me just tell you that right now, right after that. So thank you so much to everyone who's joining us live here. And as I said on Twitter, and I just put in the message in the chat, it's kind of a light day, so we'll be bringing some of you all in later on in the show, maybe to ask some questions live of us. Does a fun little Friday thing. But, you know, I can't do this show alone, so I'm so excited to welcome back to the show as my co-host here, Alex Shashek. How are you, Alex? How are things?
I got my super coffee, not sponsored. Oh. So you're in for a good time.
Plus, you got the sleigh shirt on. I don't know what we're going to get today, but it's going to be.
It's going to get weird, man. It's going to be a fun one.
I can feel it. I can feel it. And some of you all already in here, thank you so much for joining us. I just want to give some love out to Haskell 420, Andrew G, Tavushka. I hope I'm saying that right now. Tavushka Productions or Tushka Productions. The V is silent, is what I was told. The V is actually a U, so it's not Tavishka Productions. So shout out to him. Level 2 Trading, MK Song, Bert J. Scott for real. Maria Zambano, how are you? Great to see everybody. Rick Morris, AZ Badfish. Great stuff to see all of you all in here joining us live. Sean Barreto, what's up, Sean? Moderating the chat as well. And I'll be dropping the link in for those of you who want to come in live. Like those of you who watch my Outlaw Nation show, you know how I bring in people live. We can do that today as well. So we're right around halfway point when we're taking our break to promote our stuff. I'll drop the link in the chat, and then towards the tail end of the episode, we'll bring some of y'all in, maybe 3 or 4 of y'all in to ask questions of us live on the show. So, all right, let's jump into this thing. First, Alex, so much happening in the world of entertainment, and we're on the precipice of this Comic-Con at home about to happen here next week. But first, I wanted to jump into this new Mutants story. They released a new teaser trailer. It's about 51 seconds long or less than a minute long. But I think it was all in anticipation to promote their panel also coming up at this Comic-Con at home situation. We did get a little bit of new footage, not that much, but the basic premise is still there. They're definitely focusing on the horror aspect of it all. They're definitely focusing on them being trapped in that mental asylum with, I think, Alice Braga. I think that's the actress's name, kind of like taking care of them or moderating them or controlling them. And we get to see them use their powers a bit more, which we'd only gotten hints of in the previous trailers. Certainly feeling like this team comes together. We got a little hint of that throughout this trailer. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What did you think overall?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw this very hesitantly. This whole situation with the mutants is downright laughable. It's so bonkers. It really, really is. However, watching this trailer, I was like, you know what, whatever. I do love me some horror movies now and again. Let's try it out. Yeah. And just because the thumbnail kind of caught me by surprise. And then I realized after seeing the thumbnail, and I was like, oh, okay, New Mutants. Oh, yeah. Right. Connecting the dots there. Right. I was pleasantly surprised at how much I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was just like, gosh darn it, I shouldn't want to see this, but I do. And it was just, it wasn't a really crazy intense one. It was just like it was like a lot of focus on their powers and, the camaraderie they kind of have together, or at least something that they kind of build together. And they didn't really focus on like one monster or two or anything like that. It was just that kind of aspect and just like a handful of moments of them screaming. But I was surprised by how much I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, me too.
I was surprised as well. Oh, I'm pixelating a little bit. All right, so let me jump out and come back in, Alex. Maybe that's the problem. Why don't you handle things from here? Tell them, what do you think about this delay? Let me ask you one question here. It's been delayed so much. Do you think that we're going to get the announcement? And this is why they're pushing them showing up at Comic-Con at home. Do you think they're going to announce that it's going to be on Disney Plus, or do you think they'll announce a new release date for this thing as it keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed? Yeah. You think, as you said, it's kind of comical. So do you think that will happen? All right, I'm going to jump out while you answer that question for the fans.
Totes my goats. Okay, so y'all, let me just give you a quick timeline, just a little quick update if you're not familiar. So starting way back in the day, this movie was made in like 2015 or 2016, something cray like that. Okay, Game of Thrones was still filming, The Witch was barely out, and so just to give you some idea, so it was originally supposed to come out, I believe, in April of 2018. So far along ago, and they were like, "Nah, bro, let's push it." And so let's go ahead and move it down a little bit more just because some things came up and they, whatever, it doesn't matter. But they ended up pushing it down to the following year, production. They wanted to do a lot of reshoots to February of 2019. So, the whole following next year, I guess, obviously, and if you don't know, February is definitely, I don't want to say the dumping ground of Hollywood, since things are obviously changing. But at the same time, it 100% is. So over to that, they were like, nah, bro, let's move it over to August 2nd. This movie actually might be good. Psych. Let's change it over to April 3rd. Psych again, because of this whole cray situation. I don't even know what's happening. And last but not least, now it's been moved to August 28th. And so this is going to be the 5th time. And this is the only time you're going to see me whipping out the 5, for the 5 horsemen situation. So this is the 5th time that this movie has been not only talked about being released, but all this stuff, and they did promos for every time it was going to be released, and they're different trailers, and it's just been bonkers as a result. I don't know about you, but I think it's just kind of ridiculous. I actually also kind of feel bad for a lot of the cast, the entire cast and the directors and everything as well, because even the cast members, like Maisie Williams, has been very vocal about it, and Anya Taylor-Joy, about how they were like, it happened so long ago and they don't even look the same and they don't want to talk about the movie anymore. It's so weird. But
yeah,
I just gave him updates on the timeline. This is the 5th time it's been delayed, I believe. Yeah. And just talking about how the cast don't have great things to say about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just frustrated about waiting around to talk about it, because it feels like they shut it in high school and now they're about to finish college. That's what it feels like. It's like, well, what can we say about this thing that we haven't already said before? Because they're getting asked about it as they promote other projects that they're in or that they're starring in or that they're working on, and then when this thing finally drops, they've got to actually do a whole new other round of promotion for this thing as well. So I think they just want a decision once and for all to be made about this movie. And, unfortunately, that's the some of the drawbacks of being an actor is like you're kind of dependent on what the studio does with your movie until you hit that kind of really high level. You're kind of dependent on what they do with your movie to decide on how many times you got to talk about it. So that's the unfortunate situation here that you see with the New Mutants. But I liked what I saw here in the 51 seconds. I enjoyed seeing them feeling like they were coming back they were coming together as a team, seeing the powers being used a bit more. The old joke of, a chick does something really strong and it's like, oh, that's hot. I don't know if we need that joke anymore in 2020, but all right, it's there. But overall, though, I liked the fact that they're coming together as a team, and we're getting some more with Anya Taylor-Joy, who really is probably going to stand out from this thing again. And so it's exciting. Overall, and we'll see what they announce. I hope they announce something at this Comic-Con at-home panel, because Josh Boone's supposed to be in there. Some of the cast is supposed to be there, and we'll see. Certainly, Alex, we'll see if they have the eye roll, or if they have the kind of like, yeah, I've been asked about this a million times type of situation. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to all of it and what Disney does finally decide to do. And like I said, this is around the corner. So certainly we'll have more to talk about next Friday when we do our show here. All right. Remember, we live and die off your Streamlabs, your Super Chats, and the Outlaw bots. That's what I'm going to call those things. Anybody who donates over $20 gets the robot voice of the Outlaw reading your Streamlab or your Super Chat. You can send them in. We got 2 already. Draws Walker sent one in and said, "Good morning, Outlaw, Alex, and the nation. I am excited for your big match versus Irwin. TGIF." Oh, man. Alex, how bad am I going to lose that one? Be honest.
I cannot wait.
It's Ethan Irwin. I'm not going to beat him. He's unbeatable. I've never beat him.
Shut the front door, Rocha. I swear. I flippin' swear. Oh my gosh. I will. It's just like Merle going into IG. Never in a million years if you like me talking about Schmoedown, go to my podcast called Action Podcast. But it's just like Merle going into IG. Technically, he's a rookie in IG, but in a million years, I will never consider him the undercard.
Yeah, the
I will never consider him like ever. And I kind of extend that to you. I will never look at you and be like, yeah, totally. I mean, he's definitely gonna lose. That's never in a million years. So I do feel like this is a really great matchup.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're looking to really, defend yourself, your abilities and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You haven't really taken a step. Obviously, you're still as consistent as you've been. Ethan, we just haven't seen him in a very long time.
Yeah.
Since his match against Jeff. So I'm excited to really see that really go forward.
I'm curious to see what happens. Like you said, it's been a while since he's been in that ring, but I'm sure Sam and them are getting him prepared, doing these, because now it's going to be virtual. It's very easy to train a player virtually for a virtual match. So to get him in the vibe. So I'm sure they're doing that, maybe having some mock matches with Ethan to kind of get him squared away. I don't know what his time is, but it's going to be a hell of a challenge to play him again and try to beat him. And the thing is, even with all I've accomplished, I still got to prove myself. That's what's crazy about this game. You still got to prove yourself against the best. And thank God I'm still hanging around in the upper echelon of this game to try and get a shot at Dan Murrell's belt. So, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. And by the way, it is Dan Murrell's, but he's won it, how many times? It's Dan Murrell's belt. So, it's Dan Murrell. They should just retire it and call it the Dan Murrell belt. All right, we'll see. But thank you very much, Strauss. I appreciate it, man. I'm studying hard. Barbarian and I were 4 hours studying last night. So that is happening piece by piece, step by step. We're ramping it up here on the 2-week lead up into the match. And we'll see. Like I said, I'll be the most prepared I've ever been for Ethan going into that match, and we'll see if it pays off.
Do you guys do wheel exercises?
Wheel exercises? Explain.
Okay, so with my faction, I'm a manager in the Fan Lakes, and so we actually have training. We have training sessions that go on for a few hours every single week. I give them homework. It's like a whole thing. I track them on their letterbox accounts. It's like a whole process, and we go over strengths, weaknesses. We go over their competition, fun stuff over here. But wheel exercises, and so we kind of dive into the statistics. So I just whip up like a bunch of fake wheels for them. And because it's all about being able, because, as competitors, you don't find out until the day of, maybe a few hours before, if you're lucky.
Right.
And so it's all about being able to think yourself really quickly in a time cinch. Statistically speaking, should I go for this slice or this slice? Or that kind of thing. It's a wheel of my favorites, and not should I go first, second, depending on strengths of my opponent, all that good stuff. And so I make up mock up a handful of wheels and kind of test them and be like, okay, you have 20 seconds to select your slice. Do you go first, second, go? And I want you to tell me why you should stay, why you should repeat, and I want you to tell me the reasons why. I don't want to be like, oh, my gut is telling me this. No. I want you to explain to me why this is a good thing for you to do.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, but also to me is very strategic. I don't like to go in it like wishy-washy, based on your gut personally. I like the numbers. Yeah, I know. You like them. You're a technical person. I respect that. I'm more of a guts player, but this approach is my approach I'm taking here. I'm looking at a lot of stats, looking at a lot of possibilities, all of that. I might even have a flow chart with me for the match that I can pull up and decide where I want to go depending on how the wheel spins, or I might not even use it because the wheel might spin in his favor or my favor. Who knows? But I'll certainly be aware of certain things when we go in there. But, everyone talks about it, so I'm sure he's heard the chatter. I'm sure he's boned up on certain categories that people have spoken about that he might not be as strong in. Or, I don't know. Some people say he's just going to walk in and play knowledge versus knowledge. Some people say, no, there's no way. He's definitely studying. He's under Sam's stewardship. I'm sure they're getting him ready. I don't know what Ethan's schedule is. He hasn't done any promos. He hasn't done any videos. So, when you look at that promo they dropped yesterday, Ethan's not in it other than a picture. So, unfortunately, that's all me. And by the way, I apologize to Eric. I didn't give you much to work with off Schmoedown backstage. Maybe I'll cut another promo next week, and you can weave some of that in
to the promo to hype it up a little bit more. So
I'm sure he's very disappointed in you.
I'm just saying. I'm just
sure
saying.
he's just like, damn it, that Rocha.
I like to give him more to work with. All I'm
the fucking worst. He's giving me nothing, and I'm just gonna put out shit work because of this. Because of that Rocha dude. He
never does that. That's for sure.
Yeah, Eric is amazing. If you don't know who Eric is, Eric Rodriguez, aka Nerd Chronic. He does all the promos for Schmoedown, and he's amazing. He's such a wonderful guy. He's a freelancer, videographer, and editor, that kind of thing. So he's wonderful. So.
Great dude. Absolutely. Ben Rayner sent in a super chat, says, "Hi, Rocha and Alex. Happy Friday. I think they should just quit this theater dance and let the New Mutants out on either Hulu or Disney Plus." I agree thoroughly.
Please.
I mean, yeah, we just saw Old Guard. That's Charlize Theron starring in that. We just saw Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. We just saw Greyhound with Tom Hanks. So if those 3 films can be dropped on streaming services, I'm sure a film that you're not going to follow up on, that you most likely aren't going to keep weave into the world of Marvel under the Disney stewardship. Just drop it and put it out there for people to consume, enjoy, get some high numbers out of it, and then move on to the next thing. Yeah, this is doing now negative work instead of positive work for that film itself overall.
And each time they re-release the release date kind of thing, or every time they go through this whole thing with Comic-Con and everything, that takes so much more money to bring the actors out and start doing this whole thing again. And so they have to reinvest money over and over again. What started out being a really cool, smart production sci-fi horror movie is now like this ridiculously expensive project that never had any intention of doing this. So this is, I'm sure, very frustrating. It just came out during a time where between Fox, Disney, that it's just a weird, wonky time for movies made during that time.
Yeah, exactly. Thoroughly agree with you, Alex. Andrew G says, New Mutants looks excellent. Nice pun there, Andrew G. Let me see it. Let me see it. I agree.
I approve of that pun.
Excellent. I like it. Jay Scott Friel says, drop it, please. Yeah, I agree. Or that's maybe a Beastie Boys button thing. Drop it. Yeah, if you haven't already hit the like button, please do so. Well, we got 135 of y'all watching us live. Hit that like button. Get us over 100 likes as soon as possible. Swing that mouse over there and hit that thumbs up button. Give us some love. Let me see if we got any Streamlabs running through here, Alex. Oh, we got one from Jay Scott Friel I just mentioned. Said, New Mutants and Falcon and the Winter Soldier aren't the only pieces of entertainment being delayed. Yeah, we heard that this morning as I was coming on to the stream here to get it ready. We heard that Falcon and Winter Soldier now are delayed as well. Rockstar has a rep for delaying highly anticipated video games like GTA and Red Dead Redemption. Now, CD Projekt Red has delayed Cyberpunk 2077. Any anticipation? Alex, are you a gamer? Do you know about Cyberpunk 2077?
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm still the only games I'm playing right now are like Overcooked 2.
Oh, okay.
I love that game. It's so
all right.
I never had. Oh my gosh, that game is so addicting. It's that, and what else am I playing? Actually, so I'm gonna just whip out my
please,
real quick.
While you do that, Cyberpunk 2077 is an open world action adventure story set in Night City, a megalopolis obsessed with power, glamour, and body modification. You play as V, a mercenary outlaw going after a one-of-a-kind implant that is the key to immortality. Keanu Reeves is in this as well. He's playing one of the characters. And this was it's been pushed now to the end of 2021. It was supposed to come out in November of 2020. So that has been pushed as well. Alex, go ahead. Yes.
I played Torchlight 2, Stardew Valley, Portal, Overcooked, like I said, Monster Prom, and Bit Trip Runner, which is oddly addicting.
Okay. Bit Trip Runner. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like pixelated, like you were earlier, like a pixelated game, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what happens when I get pixelated. Because, guys, I don't know before I come on if I'm going to be pixelated or not. It all depends on the internet situation. I did get an Ethernet cord, and maybe that'll be the route I go. I got to figure out how to make it work. Because usually in the old days, you could just plug in the Ethernet cord, and it defaulted to the Ethernet cord. But when I plug in the Ethernet cord now, it turns off my internet completely onto my computer. So I might have to do some settings or mess around with some settings or look a YouTube video up and figure that out. But certainly we'll we'll get it going for sure, so that we don't have too many more of those mornings when it's all pixelated and stuff like that. Jenna James, we did talk about New Mutants. Just rewind back to the beginning of the show. We get into New Mutants a little bit there, and we just were answering some Streamlabs and some Super Chats. All right, let's move on to our second conversation or second story here, and this is exactly what she was talking about here with Adam Smasher. Adam Smasher is going to be part of the new Black Adam movie that's coming out here. Of course, The Rock starring as a Black Adam. That's going to be pretty exciting to see him finally once and for all on screen as Black Adam. He's getting up in age a little bit, The Rock is, as much as I love him to pieces. So I want to see this sooner rather than later, and these production delays make me a little concerned. I know he's big as a mountain and all of that, but it can be a toll on your body when you're an action hero. As you get older, Schwarzenegger certainly talks about that. And you watch Schwarzenegger in his older in the films now, and he can barely move around, and he stomps when he moves, and that's all be doing all that action stuff and doing all the weightlifting stuff. So we'll see in the end how The Rock ends up. But anyway, Noah Centineo is the guy who is going to be playing Adam Smasher, Atom Smasher. He is coming off of a few situations here to All the Boys I've Loved Before. He was a part of that. He was, I see. Oh, Alex, is this one of your favorites there? Okay. But anyway, yeah, he's going to be, and he's going to be in the sequel as well, to All the Boys. P.S. I Still Love You with a number of actors returning for that. He also starred in Sierra Burgess is a Loser. He's the founder of Favored Nations as well, which is a nonprofit social action organization, and also leading the World War II drama The Diary, which is being directed by none other than Jackie Chan. Pretty incredible stuff here. The character he'll be playing, Adam Smasher, is a character who can control his molecular structure and is able to manipulate his size and strength. The character has appeared on The Flash before for CW, but in the history of the comics, Adam Smasher is the godson of the original Adam. He is the son of a criminal who becomes a supervillain, rather. And so he becomes actually a hero himself, following in his godfather's footsteps. But he becomes friends with Black Adam after Black Adam is a little bit redeemed by Amanda Waller when he's asked to lead the Suicide Squad. So, and even Black Adam says that Adam Smasher is kind of like his brother from another mother. And no matter how bad Black Adam gets, Adam Smasher always kind of defends him or tries to talk him down. Even when he has to fight him, he's always trying to see the good in Black Adam. So this already tells me, Alex, with this casting of this character, that it's going to be a Black Adam movie, but he's not going to be necessarily a super villain. He's going to have some strong opinions, some aggressive approaches to those strong opinions, but he'll come off as more of an anti-hero, it seems like, because use a character like this to kind of soften his edges, to kind of see the good in this guy. That's going to maybe be the vehicle that or the way they use Adam Smasher in this movie. What do you think about this casting? What do you think about this actor?
I think Noah Centineo is a hot piece. That's what I'm thinking.
All right,
he is a beautiful piece of man candy.
Wow. All right.
All right. Also, something to remember is that he is actually huge in Asia. When I say huge, I mean I'm talking about Leonardo DiCaprio in circa 1997. Huge. Wow. He is that. He's massive in Asia. So I'm not surprised that they really decided to go with him, considering his popularity, and this is going to be much more of an international production kind of situation. Yeah. I have a hard time picturing, I still have a hard time picturing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as, Black Adam personally, but that's just me. Just because everything that I've read about him, he's an anti-hero with some kind of villainous tendencies and all that good stuff. And he's going against Shazam. He is one of the big villains up against Shazam. And so
possibly.
Possibly. But I mean, in the comics and
true.
So I'm just saying, so if that comes to life, that somehow happens in a sequel or something, I just have a hard time picturing that. It just, but also, I mean, that happens to me a lot. I mean, there's a lot of things I can't really picture when it comes to, certain actors being cast. I'm like, dude, what? What? Why? So I am kind of curious about that decision. But at the end of the day, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as far as I'm concerned, he can do no wrong. So I'm just waiting for him to prove me wrong.
Yeah, some people in the chat letting me know or letting us know that Edge, the former professional wrestler. Well, he did come back, so Edge is still somewhat wrestling now, but he played Adam Smasher in the Flash series. So that is the vibe of Adam Smasher. It's more of a gruff, stronger type of thing. So Will Noah's more vulnerable approaches to his
beautiful.
roles. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, fine, beautiful.
Cutie patootie, that's what he is.
Will that play out in his interpretation of the character as well? Because look, The Rock's is not going to cast someone who can challenge him physically. That's just not going to happen. Welcome to Hollywood. Yeah, welcome to Hollywood. That's how it works. The star is the star. You cannot compete with the star. They're not going to do that.
What wasn't it him and Jason Statham like on Fast and Furious where they were like, we can only allow so many punches to guarantee you one, they both look good.
No, that was Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel. Okay. It was the equal amount of punches. He wanted to have the equal amount of punches.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, once again, that's Hollywood. That's the ego,
That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
You know it is. It happens in the Schmoedown, Alex. I hate to break it to you. Every player goes to Christian and goes, I need to be highlighted more. You need to put me in storylines more.
Are you saying, Rocha, there's ego with Schmoedown? Exactly. I have no idea.
Right. And we're on the lower level. Imagine being at the Rock's level, then the ego's really, really high, so there you go.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what he does with this. And this someone mentioned as well in the chat, this means that might open the door to the Justice Society of America. That's certainly possible as well. The JSA could be a part of this. And the JSA, a lot of people love the JSA. To see the JSA on screen in a feature film, that would be exciting, Alex.
It would be so amazing. To me, the JSA is infinitely better than the Justice League. So,
wow, strong statement.
Please make that happen. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll certainly see for sure. But I like this idea. I like, slowly but sure. We don't know when they're coming back for production. We don't know what's happening. I mean, some films are shooting now. Bryce Dallas Howard tweeted out how she's back shooting with Chris Pratt for the new Jurassic World movie. But overall, we don't know how many productions are going to come back or go in motion. We shall see. But looking forward to seeing what we get more updates on that for sure, on Black Adam and on more roles being announced. And maybe more of the Justice Society being announced as well. That could be interesting. We shall see. Stargirl is doing the JSA. Yeah, but once again, JSA on the big screen is what I'm talking about, not on the small screen, on the big screen for sure. And by the way, shout out to my friend Joe Knezovich. We went to college together. He is the wizard on Stargirl, and I'm going to try to get him on for a special one-on-one interview for the channel and have a little fun talking about Stargirl and his experiences when he's allowed to come on and do that. So that's going to be fun as well. Some of you who aren't watching Stargirl, you need to be watching Stargirl. It's actually damn good. It's actually damn good. So giving you a little shout out there. All right, let's move on to our next story here. Have you not watching it, Alex? You're not? Is that your thing? Okay, fair enough.
I was excited to. I've seen Supergirl. I saw Constantine. I've seen The Flash, and I saw a handful of episodes, and I was like, "This is not for me." Nope.
Okay.
And so, if it's anything remotely along those lines, I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
Jenna letting me know. Basically,
I respect that though.
Yeah, basically the members of the JSA not being used on Stargirl are expected to be in this film. Okay, all right, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Let's see here. All right, so the next story we're going to jump into. I don't see any Streamlabs. Oh, I saw some Streamlabs. Sorry, never mind. Here, let me jump these in. Let's see. Tushka Productions says, Rocha, close on the pronunciation. I truly appreciate the effort. Alex, awesome job rocking the full screen solo. Rocha, go full screen and cut us the promo that Eric deserves. Happy Friday and God bless. Well, not yet. I might do it on SCN Live. I don't think I'll do it on Mornings with Yellow. Maybe on SCN Live we'll make it happen there. All right, we're at 144 likes. 144 viewers, only 77 likes. Get us over 100 likes, people, as quickly as possible and get us marching. 150 likes.
You don't even have 100. That breaks my heart a little bit.
Right.
I guess people don't really like us, Rocha.
Oh, what? Don't say that. It's just a little slow today. That's all.
I guess people just don't like us. If they did like us, they would be getting us to at least 100. And then, to really prove that they love us, they would get us to like 150.
Yeah.
And so this breaks my heart. It really, really does.
sorry.
Breaks my heart. It's like this. It's not this. It's this.
Oh wow, that's sad to see. I apologize. I take responsibility for that.
You should. You should.
I apologize. Good. If only our fans could also donate like up to $500 today, that'd be fantastic to keep the lights on here in the Schmoedown. I'm sorry, in the Outlaw Nation.
Who else pays for my super coffee? No one else. You guys pay for my super coffee, guys. Just saying.
Yeah, come on, guys. Netflix announced that Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos has been appointed co-CEO of the company alongside co-founder Reed Hastings. Sarandos, who's only 55 years old, and I mean only because as an executive hitting that high level where you're the CEO of the company at that age is a pretty incredible thing to accomplish. He joined the company in 2000. He'll still stay as the content chief, and he was a DVD buyer, and he's overseen content operations ever since. And in addition, Greg Peters has been appointed Netflix's Chief Operating Officer and adding to his Chief Product Officer role. This is fascinating for me because Sarandos is one of those guys that he did an incredible job just kind of moving the company, Netflix itself, into original content in 2013 with House of Cards, which I recently finished. I didn't finish that 6th season, just couldn't do it. Orange is the New Black as well. And before that, he was an executive at a video distributor, ETD, and Video City / West Coast Video. The thing is, it's so interesting, his statement. I love this. Sarandos said that growing up in Phoenix, his family struggled financially, but that even if the phone or the gas was cut off, his mom, quote, always insisted on having cable TV and a little dish to get HBO. Obviously, that tells you where his priorities are. At his job at a local video rental store in high school, watching films and TV all day and hearing what customers liked helped me understand people's dramatically different tastes and moods, as well as the value of a good recommendation. My journey to co-CEO of Netflix has been as a fan of great entertainment. So, I mean, you hear nothing but good things about this guy through Netflix, and they've taken some chances. And the numbers that came out, Netflix absolutely blew away their projected subscriber count or new subscriber additions over this last quarter, but they came in a little bit lower on the views. So a little bit of good and a little bit of bad overall. So we'll see what this does here, moving Sarandos into more of a position of power, how the content might change, how the direction of Netflix might change. It's incredibly interesting. What do you think, Alex?
I totally agree. If he was any way involved with, being involved with the voting process or being like, hey, original content, Netflix, that should be a cool thing we should do. Yeah. He was anything involved with that, absolutely. Give him all the money, give him a higher position where he has like more sway. Absolutely, he deserves it. But also something that was mentioned in this article, they made it seem like he's been in this role like unofficially for a while now, and now they're just giving him the title. And so, it's definitely good that that's happening. I'm definitely one of those people that believes that you had to act the part before you get to the part. That's just like, putting that out there into the universe. Yeah. So he's definitely one of those people that if he wasn't present within, because he joined, I believe, in like 99 or 2000 or something by Netflix. That's what the article said. That if he wasn't involved in Netflix as early as he did, I don't know what Netflix would look like as a company today. So give him all the money, dude.
It's an interesting point. I think this is important to point out. Sometimes we look at executives and we think, oh, they're so high up. They're doing this. There's, they're born into it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. This is the guy that, kind of worked his way up the channel here. He was born in Phoenix to a dad who was an electrician, a mom who was a stay-at-home mom. He's the fourth of 5 children. He's in high school, working for his high school newspaper. He met and interviewed Ed Asner, who was in Phoenix for a local SAG meeting. Asner, who was at the time doing Lou Grant, that's how old Sarandos is. This is back in the 70s, introduced Sarandos to other people in the entertainment industry for further interviews and making his contacts and connections. Then Sarandos went to Glendale Community College, ladies and gentlemen, community college in Glendale, Arizona, then went to Arizona State University, where he was a journalism major until he left college. He left college to manage the video store where he worked at since high school. And then from there, he moved on through the next 5 years to manage 8 of the retail video stores and became the Western Regional Director of Sales and Operation for one of the largest video distributors, as I mentioned, ETD, in the United States. And then March of 2000, Sarandos was Vice President of Product and Merchandising for almost a 500-store chain in Video City, West Coast Video. I know West Coast Video from being out here in California. He met Reed Hastings in 1999. Then he joined Netflix in 2000. So this is a guy who put his time in, worked his way up, made the connections. You did all the things he has to do to get in this position. So you like to see a person who works hard getting rewarded for the things that they did to get to a position of power. They weren't just handed because they were born into it or their daddy bought the company. This is a guy who did it on his own in blue-collar way, and you got to respect that, Alex, I think. And it's a great lesson for anybody who wants to accomplish things in life, and maybe they're looking at, where they're coming from and putting themselves down. Don't do that. There's all kinds of possibilities for you if you really keep pushing and you believe and you keep ascending. It's really important.
Absolutely. It's a Cinderella story. It really is when it comes to, this idea of, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and everything. And that kind of idea, like you said, he didn't have anything handed to him. He really rose through the ranks by himself, making those connections himself. But also it's very clear that he had a goal in mind. Yeah. You don't have to go to the traditional route and, finish high school, finish college and do this. You don't have to go the traditional route. You can kind of go things at your own pace.
Yeah.
And if you're confident and you stick to it and you do something that you actively want to do well in, good things will happen, And so, you got to be okay with putting in the time and effort into it. So I'm excited to really see, obviously not only that's promotion to someone that's well deserved, but also, as someone that, took like an traditional route, post college and everything, I read this and I'm like, this is awesome. Good for him. This is amazing. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Same thing for me. Like I went to college the first time, didn't really work for me, joined the military instead. When I came out, went to community college, got my degree, went to Florida State, came out to LA. Those you just never know how it all works out for you and what it may lead to, but you just keep pushing, just keep pressing. You just never know what can happen. So shout out. Yes, but go to school, kids. Yeah, absolutely. There, Travis Earl, absolutely go to school, get what you can and roll on out and see what you can do after that. So we shall see. All right. Let's take a little bit of a break and hear some promotion from the things we got going. Alex, what do you got? What do you got?
Yo. Oh my gosh. Do I have stuff going on? Okay. So next Tuesday, on my show called Cinema Bias. If you're not familiar, what are you doing? Okay. Right. Over there with Video Drew and I, we're going to be diving into the movie Warrior. She saw this movie for the first time. Oh my gosh. And it was a situation. So I'm excited to go back and, really talk about it in depth with her. She said that watching this movie for the first time just last week, she said it took over her. She actively thought about it for a very long time. She had no idea what to expect going into it. So I'm really excited to, really talk to her about it at length. But also, so that's going to be at 10 o'clock Central over at Video Drew's channel. Just Google Cinema Bias. We'd really appreciate it. That'd be really fun. And we're also going to be diving into Pee-wee's Big Adventure in the weekend.
Oh, nice.
No.
Are you excited about that? You're not excited about that?
I have no desire to see that movie. I do not want to see that movie.
Really?
That movie,
People love that movie.
There's some movies, I haven't seen it before. I've just seen scenes of it, and it just makes me so uncomfortable to watch. It makes me gag. It's like watching the movie Deck the Halls with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, this makes me so uncomfortable, and I can't explain why, and I just can't. Okay. I can't do it. But we're doing that. We're watching Akira the week after. I've never seen it before, and so it's going to be a really fun time. It's on Hulu, apparently, so I'm excited to dive into that. But also call to action. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff with the podcast. Call Live. We're going to be diving into the singles tournament. We're going to be diving into all the matches. All the fun stuff is going to be going up here later this week. So definitely give us a holler.
Yeah, with I can recommend that you watch the Japanese version with the English subtitles. That's what I recommend.
ever is available on Hulu, but I will if that is the option. Absolutely. As an anime fan, absolutely.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I'm dropping the link in now, and I'll drop it in a couple times for you all. If you want to come in live and ask us questions, you can do so. There it is. I just put it in the chat, so feel free to come in, click and get in the waiting room, and we'll bring you on towards the tail end of the show. As for promotion on the Outlaw Nation show, we just dropped a new episode of the Geek Buddies yesterday. Michael and Shannon joining me, and we talked about we kind of programmed our own fantasy Comic-Con because, of course, we're not going to get to go this year, which it's the first time in like 15 years we haven't gone as a group to go to Comic-Con. I mean, I didn't go last year, but that was my own personal choice because of a wedding. But like we would have totally gone this year. So we kind of programmed our own Comic-Con. We talked about a little more of the other stuff that's going on in the world, like Bad Batch. We had a little conversation about that. We talked about Greyhound, Palm Springs, and the Old Guard. And we also got into the fact of whether we want to see John Hamm as Fletch or not in a reboot of Fletch or not. So all of that was discussed on the Geek Buddies. Also dropped, as like I said, Game Time earlier this week. That was a lot of fun. Alex and I, our Monday show for Mornings with the Outlaw is up as well. And I'll be having another thing up soon. A couple of reviews coming up soon here for the Outlaw Nation channel. And so, those are the things that are happening right now. No deep cut interview this week. We had them kind of fall one on top of the other for a little bit, but I was offered some people, but didn't 100% think they were the right thing for the channel. So we shall see coming up in the next couple of weeks who we have coming in onto the channel. So we'll see. And don't forget, Rachel Cushing was my guest on the Outlaw Nation show on Tuesday night. If you haven't watched that episode, you need to watch that episode. 2.5 hours of us talking about her career through the Schmoedown, Lord of the Rings. She schooled me on the Hobbits. We talked about how she handles what's happening now with how she can, with her introvert stuff and her mental health stuff, how she's handling everything that's happening in the world. We also just had a lot of laughs just talking about our friendship and talking about how this whole thing happened for us here in the Schmoedown world. And also she answers a bunch of questions from people sitting in Streamlabs Super Chats and coming in live. So don't forget that is out there now on the channel for you all to enjoy. So, all right, let's see. Let's move on to our next. Let's move on to our next thing here, Alex. And I think it's to do. Speaking of Comic-Con at home, let's jump into that. The Wrap did a big release of what they have coming up here for Comic-Con at home and what's exciting amongst all the panels that would be cool to take a look at. And there's a lot happening here for people who want to get involved. Remember, this is free to everybody. These are free virtual events that the Comic-Con is setting up. This will be next week from the 22nd through the 26th. There'll be presentations on His Dark Materials from HBO Lovecraft Country. Amazon Prime Video is going to have stuff on The Boys. Upload, which a lot of people seem to be enjoying now. Truth Seekers, which I think is the new Simon Pegg show. Utopia as well. Meanwhile, AMC is going to be hosting panels for The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and the Nos 4A2. I don't know if anybody's watching that. I tried an episode of that. Wasn't for me, but that's up there as well. Hulu also has panels for its upcoming Marvel series Hellstorm, as well as Solar Opposites and Crossing Swords. And CBS All Access is planning a huge Star Trek universe panel incorporating Picard, Discovery, and that new one, Star Trek Lower Decks. And FX is bringing Archer and What We Do in the Shadows, which a lot of people are loving. On the movie side of things, we're going to get panels for Bill and Ted Face the Music, Deep Blue Sea 3. I don't know why there's a third one of that one. Antlers, which is the Guillermo del Toro produced film. I think Scott Cooper's directing that one. G-Lock, and a 15th anniversary panel for Constantine with Keanu Reeves and everybody involved in that production being a part of it. And as we mentioned earlier, there'll be an New Mutants X-Men panel as well. And in terms of solo events, Joss Whedon's going to have one. Kevin Smith, A Night with Kevin Smith, is going to make a comeback. And maybe he'll talk about the Schmoedown match that was just announced yesterday, him versus Chris Jericho coming up in August. Maybe he'll talk about that. Robert Kirkman, who some of you may know as connected to Skybound Entertainment, but also as the creator of the Walking Dead comic book series and a TV series. He'll be there doing his own thing. And Charlize Theron is supposed to be there as well. Certainly talk about Old Guard, maybe do some more hints for Atomic Blonde too as well. So you're looking at over all this stuff here, Alex. What jumps out at you? What excites you? What makes you want to watch this? Do you have anything in mind that you're looking at?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there are several real big ones, obviously that kind of caught my eye between Charlize Theron and Constantine. I can't wait for that. I know that Charlize Theron, they're really going to focus on like her transition from being, like dramatic actress, Oscar winning, dramatic actress, but also that transition to being like a legit action star with Furiosa and, Atomic Blonde and now Old Guard. I think she's fantastic, I can't wait to hear her talk about that. There's one panel that's talking about adult cartoons with HBO Max, which I'm really excited about. They're going to be diving into they're going to be crap. I can't remember them off the top of my head. Oh, I feel awful. But
Bob's Burgers is getting one. Yeah, there's a number of cartoons.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be a whole bunch of them, and I can't wait for that because a lot of my favorite shows are actually cartoons, between like Big Mouth, Rick and Morty, Samurai Champloo, all that good stuff. There's one panel that's really, it's going to be talking about Afrofuturism and film. So I was really excited about that idea just because it's such a really great idea and world of Afrofuturism. We haven't explored really at all, as far as I know, outside of, Black Panther. And I think once we got that introduction, I think it's wonderful. We need more of it. So I'm excited to see potentially what movies would be, diving into it. But also the last one is What We Do in the Shadows. Man, I love that show so much. I love that show. It's so good. It's so good.
It's a damn good show. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I just finished the season earlier this week, or I think maybe Sunday. I will finally watch the last episode. So I've been kind of holding off on that one, keeping it in a precious place, and it was a lot of fun to rewatch or to watch that episode again. Yeah, you talk about Charlize Theron. Her panel is called "Evolution of a Badass and Action Hero Career Retrospective." IGN's Terry Schwartz is going to moderate that panel. That's going to be on Friday, July 24th at 10 a.m. PT. I don't know if they're going to make them. I guess you can watch them, right? Because I think they're going to be on YouTube. You can watch them live, but I'm certainly you can go back if you miss any of them and watch them on your own time. Vikings is going to get one. Some of you are big fans of Vikings as well. Like I said, the Walking Dead stuff they're going to get into a little bit. They'll have stuff on adult animation for HBO. You talked about that, Alex, earlier. Gendy Tarkovsky's Primal, Black Dynamite, Laser Wolf, and Final Space. All of that will be in there. Seth Green's going to be on there. Carl Jones, Henry Bonsu, Matthew Seinrich. All those people are going to be involved in that one for sure. Bob's Burgers has his own panel. Like we mentioned, Archer. I don't know if Archer's coming back. It's return? Oh, it's returning for its 11th season later this year. So all of them are coming back after Archer recovers from a 3-year coma. Oh, that's a pretty funny way to bring it back. So that's cool. Let's see what else we've got here that's rolling through. Cosmos has got a panel with Seth MacFarlane being a part of that. The Simpsons have a panel, for God's sakes, the show that never goes away. Phineas and Ferb get a panel. I'm curious about the Constantine 15th anniversary reunion. We'll see how the moderator does with that. I don't think, he's not the best moderator. Guillermo del Toro and Scott Cooper on Antlers, like I mentioned. Family Guy is going to get one as well. This is a cool panel here. Women Rocking Hollywood 2020, supporting female-helmed film and TV. So Tracy Ellis Ross, Kelvin Harrison Jr., Dakota Johnson, all those people might be showing up here. You're going to get Nisha Ganatra, Lauren Wilkenstein, Cloak and Dagger's supervising director there, Gina Prince Bythewood, who of course just finished doing The Old Guard, Zetna Fuentes, and Allison Emilio are all going to be there. There's an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel for those of you who still stand for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Bill and Ted Face the Music panel. Let's see. Lovecraft Country is going to get one. The What We Do in the Shadows one, that's going to be on Saturday. Some people who like Winona Earp. Winona Earp is going to get her panel as well. And on Sunday, they're going to do a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles panel, Looney Tunes cartoons panel, and then a conversation with Nathan Fillion is how they're going to wrap up this Comic-Con at home stuff. So a lot of things to consume and enjoy and have some good times with there if you're a Comic-Con person or if you're a person who wants to watch these panels. We shall see coming up what ends up happening with that. So there you go. All right. No super chats or Streamlabs have come through. Maybe we're not doing enough here to get you guys excited to send some stuff through, but doing our best. Let's move on to our next story, our last story here, and that's the one with Richard Linklater. Richard Linklater is doing a new, live action film or animated. I don't know what you call his films that he's done before. I guess you would say animated, but he shoots them live and then animates them afterwards. It's called 10 and a Half, a Space Age Adventure. It combines live action with hand-drawn and CGI animation. It's a new movie that, quote, tells the story of the first moon landing in the summer of 1969 from two interwoven perspectives. It both captures the astronaut and mission control view of the triumphant moment and the lesser-seen bottom-up perspective of what it was like from an excited kid's perspective living near NASA, but mostly watching it on TV like hundreds of millions of others. It's ultimately both an exacting recreation of this special moment in history and a kid's fantasy about being plucked from his average life in suburbia to secretly train for a covert mission to the moon. This one will star Jack Black, Zachary Levi, Glenn Powell, who some of you may know, who's going to be in Top Gun Maverick, Josh Wiggins, Milo Coy, Lee Eddie, Bill Wise, Natalie Leamaro, Jessica Bryan Cohen, Sam Chipman, and Danielle Wilbot. And it's and this is part of a Netflix situation here. The live action portion of the movie was completed in March. So the animation is being handled by a company named Submarine. He's done this twice before with Waking Life and A Scanner Darkly. So does this excite you at all, Alex? Or is this kind of like, that's cool, but not that interesting for you?
It's thing is, I feel very conflicted because I love Richard Linklater. My favorite trilogy of all time is the Before trilogy.
Oh yeah, right.
And I argued it successfully on the trilogy general debate. By the way,
plug. Yeah.
Plug. I don't win debates very often, so
True, fair.
I'm excited. So going into it, so I was excited to play that one. But it's really great. I do have a lot of confidence in him as a director. But he even mentions in this article that he's not super confident as an animated director. I am excited about the idea that he's going to do some live action shooting and really kind of translate it to animation. I think that's kind of interesting, because I know there's several movies like he did Scanner Darkly. I think that one was animated. Yeah. So Scanner Darkly, but also movies like Rango, Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
Those also were filmed live action and then, they animated over it. So I do think it can be, a really great project. I just am kind of curious about his confidence going into it. So that makes me a little bit nervous, to be honest. So. Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't had a really big hit in quite some time, or at least a talked about hit since Boyhood, I guess. And so you look at this situation, you wonder if it's going to work. Like you, I enjoyed Waking Life. I enjoyed A Scanner Darkly. So I like to see what he's going to do here.
Yeah.
And the style he uses when he does it is very interesting. And these conversations aren't your standard conversations. So what conversations are we going to get here about the moon landing? What conversations are we going to get about NASA, about space? This has been something that has started to pop up around film over the last few years. Ad Astra, we had that Natalie Portman film. There was Apollo 11, that incredible documentary. PBS did their own documentary as well about the space program to celebrate the 50th anniversary last year of landing on the moon. So a lot's been happening over the last year or two around space, the idea of space program. Hell, we got a Space Force TV series on Netflix, which, by the way, so much funnier than I anticipated it being. It was damn good. Some of the reviews said it wasn't that good. I was like, you're all crazy. I was loving it. It was very funny. So you haven't seen Space Force, highly recommend that as well. So, all of that has been happening. So this could be hitting at the right time. And the fact that they shot all the live action stuff already makes it a lot easier for them to be going over and animating it. So shout out to them for being able to do that. So we'll see. I mean, it's an interesting voice to have it on the space program. I look forward to it. Yeah.
He's definitely one of those directors that's also he's inspired a lot by his childhood, like every director, obviously. Right. But a lot of his movies take place in Texas. He's a Houston boy. Yeah, grew up in he talks about a lot of his childhood living in Houston with his family, but also growing up in the '60s. Obviously, when this all came about, with moon landing. So I'm excited to see that perspective from a little boy. We haven't really seen that kind of story. Usually, it's from the point of view of an astronaut or a reporter or something. Yeah. I'm excited for that kind of fantastical element for sure. Not to mention every time he does get it from the perspective of a child, it's really great. He's really great with that kind of scope. I think so. Yeah,
I agree. We got a couple of super chats that came through. Ohap Cap said, "Keep crushing you two." Thank you, Ohap. That's a very kind.
Thank you.
That profile picture. It's pretty.
That is terrifying, and it's
terrifying. Yes, I love it.
It's not even low key terrifying. It's just terrifying.
just flat. Ben, so good job on that one. Ben Rayner said this Comic-Con Digital sounds pretty cool. Do you guys think if it's a hit, do you see them continuing this in the future in addition to San Diego Comic-Con? That's a good question. What do you think, Alex?
I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to, especially on the larger panels, if they end up surprisingly have like, I don't know, like 30, 50,000 people that want to participate in these panels. You know, I would not be surprised if they end up being like, you know what, let's take it digital for the really big panels and, you know, continue doing like the smaller ones as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being a trend in the future, because I know sure as fuck I want to watch some of these panels.
Absolutely. And we saw that with Star Wars Celebration a few years ago, having them screen all the panels for people to watch. They didn't screen the actual footage. You know, they left that for as a gift for the people who were there. But if you were to do this in the future, I don't think anybody would have an issue with it. And seeing the large numbers of it all would be fantastic as well. I think eventually the novelty would wear off, but it would be nice to see it maybe as a possibility for people who can't afford the tickets or who can't be there
and they
live.
sell it so quickly.
Huh? Yeah, they sell it so quickly.
quickly.
Exactly. So it's tough to be able to get in there. So I respect that. I would love to see it done this way for sure for people who can't. Because, I mean, maybe that's why. I mean, like, if you knew you were going to be able to watch it, then I don't think it's going to affect your ticket sales in the least, because people want to be there live. You know, it's just better. You know, just like the NFL, they still sell out stadiums even though they show the games all the time. All sports do that. So, you know, Comic-Con is almost like a sporting event. It's a Super Bowl of nerddom, in my opinion.
If that's the case, though, they would have to possibly step up their game in terms of activities and interaction at the Comic-Cons themselves. Because obviously, I live in St. Louis. Obviously, I'm in the middle of the U.S. Now, I wish I could go to Comic-Con, but that's just not going to happen. You know, I'm not going to buy a plane ticket and tickets and do the whole thing. So that's not going to happen for me. But, you know, if I was tempted with enough like activities to be able to participate there, that would definitely make it much more exciting to me, you know, versus like, you know, going to panels and sitting in line for 15 hours or however long and stuff. Because that it just doesn't sound appealing all that much right now. But who knows in the future, and especially with all these panels like potentially going online, I was just like, why would I want to pay so many hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars to do this? Like, if I can check out a lot of it online, I don't know.
That's a fair point.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Hill Nellums donated some Streamlabs. Thank you, Hill. Happy Friday, John and Alex. Late to the show. And saw some mentions of Akira in the chat. What did I miss? It's my favorite anime of all time. Also, I agree with you on Space Force, John. Yeah, we were just mentioning, Alex was mentioning that she's going to be doing that in 2 weeks, I think, on Cinema Bias with her and Drew.
Yes, absolutely. On my show, Cinema Bias, we actually dive into our personal biases when it comes to movies and filmmaking, genres, and all that good stuff. And I personally have, you know, even though I am a huge anime fan, I have never seen Akira. And so it's just something, I've actually read the graphic novels, but I've never seen the movie, which it feels very wrong now that I say it out loud. But Drew, she has seen it and she loves it. So we're going to dive into that one. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We crossed over 100 likes as we wrap up here the show in about 15 minutes. Going to bring some people in live. Been waiting to talk to us live, but would love it if you guys got us to 150 likes. If you're watching right now, got 140 y'all watching us live right now. All right, let's jump into some live questions from people. I'm going to drop the banner once I bring them in. And the first one is Jay Scotty for real. What's going on, dude? How are you?
Hey, stranger.
Is your mic working?
Oh, can't hear you, my dude.
Yo, what's going on? Can you guys hear me? I just unmuted myself. Am I good?
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
You're good.
Am I good?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, appreciate you guys having me on. Just wanted to shout out a couple of guys in the chat that have brought something up. Zeno Hour and MK Songbird. They're bringing up the Russo brothers are partnering with Netflix. With Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans for The Gray Man, and they're dumping $200 million into it.
Yeah.
You guys want to touch on that at all?
Interesting situation, right? $200 million. I mean, Ted Sarandos, we just mentioned him. He was talking about how they want to limit the amount of money they're spending after they got burned by Triple Frontier and that War Machine movie. They had spent so much money on those films, didn't quite get the return they were hoping for, even though they got a lot of views. You know, they released the top 10 most viewed films. I think Triple Frontier was on that. Gray Man follows Court Gentry, a legend in the covert realm who's an expert at completing any lethal task and then disappearing, but he's now being pursued by a former CIA colleague of his, Lloyd Hansen, once they feel that Gentry has outlived his usefulness. So, I mean, this is interesting with them. Marcus and McFeely apparently worked on the script. You know, they did Avengers Endgame and a number of the Avengers films with the Russo brothers. So this is exciting. And the book series has been around since 2009. There have been 8 different sequels. Apparently, Christopher McQuarrie was attached to this thing in the past as well. So I like the idea. I like the combo of them together. Is there a concern that it's a $200 million movie, though? That's where my mind goes, because I don't know how Netflix makes their money when they're spending this much on these films and not getting necessarily per view ticket money coming in for them.
Yeah, I totally agree. And thanks for bringing it up. I appreciate it. So when it comes to this, I have every confidence in everyone involved, with Netflix, and, it's just, that's a lot of money. Like, do you really need to invest that much money in a Netflix movie? I don't know. Am I excited for it? Sure. And I'm mega curious. And I love all these different collaborations they're doing, all these amazing directors. It's just a lot of It's just a lot of money for a movie that's not being released in theaters and will not be making money the traditional route. But who knows? Maybe they're looking to get a lot more subscribers or something. I don't.
Yeah. Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling is an interesting combo. What do you think, Jay Scotty?
Well, I was just going to say one thing that you guys touched on that I wasn't aware of was Marcus and McFeely's involvement. So that ups my excitement pretty tremendously. That goes you thinking it's going to be another 21 Bridges where you have Chadwick Boseman reuniting with the Russos, right? At least on a production standpoint.
Yeah.
I liked that one, though. It was a fun time. How dare you, Jay Scotty?
No shade.
I will shade you, okay? But thank you so much for bringing that up. I had no idea about that story.
Yeah. Are you excited? But $200 million, does that give you any pause, though, man? I mean, that's a lot of money, Jay Scotty, don't you think?
Well, I mean, with those guys, it is a pretty proven track record. With that talent attached, I do see the trepidation there. But if you're going to throw that kind of money, it's going to be at those guys. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and I think with everybody staying home and everything happening here, I mean, the people are starting to feel more and more comfortable watching stuff at the house. Like I said this way back when, like, human beings are malleable people. They're adaptable people. The second something disappears, they'll complain that it's not there anymore. But then they'll adapt to their new reality because they have to, and you can go all the way from something like, adapting to new technology coming in or adapting to the loss of technology. People just figure it out and move forward. And maybe a lot of these streaming services are seeing that people are going to start staying home more and more to watch this kind of content and consume it in larger numbers. So spending $200 million on a movie maybe isn't a bad thing. So we'll see. Thanks, Jay Scotty.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Bye. Have a good day.
This guy's little attic there. I like the V in the attic.
I know. I was like, is that his bedroom attic situation?
Oh, I dig it. He's probably got some rows of comic books right next to him, too.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what I have in my attic, at least. That's what I have in my attic. Oh, well. All right, Sean Barreto, what's going on, dude? Oh, you got a little green screen action. Nice.
Oh, no.
What is that, Sean? What is that? Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, my God.
You gotta love it.
No, that's for Alex. She knows why. Good morning. Alex, you can't see it now. I'm blocking it now.
Oh, God, it's so creepy.
That's so funny.
It's so creepy.
What do you got, Sean?
I just want to comment on the Comic-Con situation. I think going forward, if it goes well, going forward, that's how kind of all the cons should go. Only because, like, I've been to WonderCon a couple of times. I've been to D23. Just the experience of all those people in one place is not the best experience, in my opinion. So I think if this virtual con works, I think that's the way to go forward. Because then, like what Alex was saying, that like some people live in different parts of the country that can't go.
Or world.
So, oh yeah, absolutely. So the idea of like just being virtual, I think they actually could make more money this way. Yeah. And then they can have better control of all their content, because the problem always was the studios were like, oh, if we screen it here, people are going to pirate it and whatnot. So they might have better control of their material this way as well.
Yeah.
Do you think if that's the case, in order to still make money, I don't know if they're going to make money on advertising or whatever it may be, but do you think there should be like a ticket price in order to watch these panels in that case? Because I know I would pay money to see these panels, hands down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would say take my money. Yeah, like absolutely. Like if there was a panel like for the MCU or any of these DC movies that are coming out, and I had to pay money to get like a code to get into a stream to watch it and see the panel. Absolutely, and I think that's the way to do it, in my opinion, going forward.
Yeah.
Hey, Comic-Con, take my money. I'm here for it.
No, I like this idea of what you're talking about because I mean it's like anything else, right? It's like once you make people aware of something and you make it available. Look, I know this is an interesting comparison. I might get in trouble for it, but it's like a drug dealer. I give you a little bit for free, and then you're going to come back and pay for the rest because you like the way it works. Media, Comic-Con stuff, all of this is the same thing. If I give it to you for free this year, then next year I can charge you $75 to sit at home or $150 access pass, and you get all the panels plus the footage. Like you don't lose the footage, and maybe you pay a lesser amount to just watch the panels and you get no footage, or you pay for the day or just one day. I just want to see stuff on Saturday or want to see stuff on Friday. The expense will be born out of the fact that they'll have to set up camera crews in all of those rooms. That's extra expensive stuff they're going to have to do. All of these, either studios or the organizers of the con, they're going to have to shell out some money to put cameras there so that you're close to the stage and you're not watching the panel from way back here. So that's kind of a thing you have to factor into the cost of it. So, but I like the idea. I think it's great to charge people for content. Look, you do that for sporting events all the time. You know, you pay for a channel, or you pay to watch a tournament, or you pay to what in the CrossFit games, you can pay to watch all the preliminary days competition all day if you want to, and then all the way to the last final event. So all of that is possible. I dig it. Yeah.
Or alternatively, it could be like a streaming service, like an app kind of thing situation. And you pay like so much money a month kind of thing. And every new month they get new panels for new projects. It's just saying,
yeah, sure.
Yo, okay. So Comic-Con, just saying, I give you the idea. So you should pay me money.
Right.
That's the way it works, right? Comic-Con.
They have to pay you money for you to tell them how to do their thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Hey, did you guys see the video with Chris Evans and that boy who saved his little sister?
Oh, yeah.
John, I swear, don't make me cry again. I don't want to.
That's why I didn't put it on the show, because I think people get really emotional watching that.
I laid in bed crying.
Yeah.
That was just so great. I mean, that's why superhero movies are like, when people like talk crap about them, like, no. This is why they're important.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
That little boy's gonna like look at that probably a billion times until he gets to our age, and then come back when he's our age and then cry about it when he looks back on it. Yeah. Like that's what it's about. And like the idea of Chris to take time out of his day to do that and to send him a shield.
Right.
Jesus, that's great.
Fantastic point, man. Yeah, absolutely.
And one more thing, I have a little beef with Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Ways back, you were supposed to say a phrase about the Yankees.
Oh boy.
And you didn't kind of say it very well.
I totally did say it. You didn't.
No. Whoa.
I totally did, Sean.
Whoa. You said it.
I'm
not saying you didn't say it. You said
How
it.
dare you?
Hey, John, you would agree.
Don't drag me into this. This is your argument. I'm not being dragged into
this. You're starting stuff, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, you're bringing stuff up that.
Oh.
Hey, I had no beef with the Cardinals. Cardinals are great. I'm just saying,
best fandom of all time.
You know, the Yankees are the best, and I wasn't feeling it. You know, I'm
not feeling you in this chat room right now. So, what are we gonna do about that?
Well, I mean, you could drop me out. That's fine. But I'm just saying, just bringing it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Certainly, you got something you guys can argue about on Cinema Bias for sure. So I respect it.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Got 2 more people waiting on it. Thank you, Sean. Really appreciate it, brother.
Have a good morning, guys.
Man, you too. Sean is fantastic. Sean's my overall producer for the shows we do on Patreon, for the Patreon here for the Outlaw Nation. He's absolutely great, and we've done some great shows because of him, man. He's been fantastic. One of the ones that Alex. real promotion. One-on-one Alex and I did. We just did the first episode of the Outlaw Rides Again, which is where I sit down with a guest or a Patreon, and we revisit and rewatch one of my older matches. And Alex chose the first match I ever had with Scott Mance, the best spin match. That is up there for you to watch on YouTube if you want as well. So Sean doing great work producing all those, or helping me produce all those shows. And he's a part of the Ultimate Schmoedown show as well that him and Mike Shea work on to put that up. All right, let's bring in Andrew G. What's up, dude? What's going on, dude?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
How you feeling, man?
I'm all right. Just getting some work done. Friday. We made it to another Friday.
Do you have cats? Do you have cats? I see some cat toys.
I do have a cat. He's he's around here somewhere. His name is actually Akita.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My cat's name is Atlas and Juno.
Was a good cat.
I'm hoping your cat like hangs out in the background then. As sometimes it walks by or something. Fingers
He's
crossed.
checking something out over there. I don't know what he's doing, but
Fingers crossed.
yeah.
so what's up, man?
I was trying to think of a question, and as I was kind of waiting, I saw on Twitter just more of those Hayden Christensen rumors popping up.
Oh yeah,
and creative things shifting at Lucasfilm, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll ask if those rumors are true that Hayden's coming back to play Anakin Skywalker. Is that something you'd be excited to see happen? Him come back, and like, how do you hope? Or how would you want to see that happen? Like a flashback to some Clone Wars, like live action, or maybe he's in all like the burned makeup and shit, and he's in like his Vader's meditation chamber or something, you know, or a dream sequence or something. Like, how would you want to see him come back if he comes back?
That's a great question. I certainly want him to come back. I would like, because I think the mood has changed so much around him that I'd be 1,000% down with him coming back. That being said, the way that this current regime has handled old characters coming back is almost a 0.00 batting percentage, right? We got Leia back, but then everybody get freaked out about the Leia Force ghost, the Mary Poppins Leia. We got Luke back, but then he was one scene at the end of Force Awakens, and then a lot of people didn't like the way they turned him into a reluctant fighter in Last Jedi, and then had him talking about failure with Yoda, and then having him come out of the fire and grab the lightsaber, you know, and essentially pseudo kind of crap on the Last Jedi in that conversation with Leia. Solo comes back, and yeah, he gets killed in the Force Awakens. Then he shows up in Rise of Skywalker as part of the redeeming moment. Palpatine is brought back in a clumsy way. So yes, it would be great to have Hayden Christensen come back, but I don't necessarily trust them to get it right. So I don't know if you're Hayden right now, why do you come back under this regime? And because this is your chance to finally get redeemed, will they really do it right? That's my concern. What do you think, Alex?
Hayden Christensen to me is definitely an underrated actor. Yes, I can't.
That proud.
Hello, Akita. Hello, baby Akita. Oh, so cute. Oh, yeah.
That apartment, you can tell.
I am digging it. I'm digging it. I have to say, I'm still looking at the cat. I can't not look at the cat. I can't focus right now. I love cats. I can't help it. When it comes to Hayden Christensen, to me, he's definitely an underrated actor. Unfortunately, obviously Star Wars kind of ruined Hollywood a little bit for him. He was unable to get many roles, after that, just because of the poisonous atmosphere that really followed him. And he wasn't really able to get booked, unfortunately. And so I do hope that, like you said, the fandom surrounding the prequels have definitely shifted for the better. There's a lot of people that still defend him and say that those are his favorite movies. I can't help it. I just can't help it. So I'd be excited for him to honestly come on. But like you said, there's a lot of hesitation with, how they would bring him on as well. And I'm one of those people that if you're not going to bring someone on and really do him justice, I just say don't bring him on at all. But also, I actually liked how they handled Luke and Leia personally. Leia so much more than that Mary Poppins scene, obviously, like her coming back as, coming back as General Organa the way she did. I feel like it was really wonderful And so much more than that random weird moment as Mary Poppins. Yeah. You love it or you hate it. It was still kind of a weird random moment. So I would be really curious to see that happen for sure. And also, even if they offered him to be in it, like legitimately, if they were like, here, so much money, all that good stuff, what would it have to be in order for him to be like, okay, I'll take it, considering the toxic fandom that surrounded him at the time?
Yeah. Very
I would
good
be
point.
surprised if he ended up turning it down. If at all.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Are you excited? Do you want him back?
Absolutely. I think it would be great if he came back, especially for Obi-Wan, and that's really where it would make sense for him to come back. And I hope it's something cool like a flashback to maybe like a scene of the two of them during the Clone Wars or something, or even if he shows up as like I said, like armorless and helmetless. That'd be a kind of I think they'd have to really push for him to come back to do that, to get him in the makeup and everything. Yeah. But it would be cool to see, and however they bring him back, I just want to see him come back. And I think under the direction of maybe Deborah Chow, who's supposed to be running the show, and like better writing and dialogue, I think it would be really cool and good for him to come back and get another shot at the character, even if it's just a small thing. Yeah. Because under George's direction or lack of direction and writing, it's like you said, he really got done dirty during those last two movies, I think.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'd be down.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Not to mention, I just want more of his face. He's such a cool guy, and I think he's fantastic. And look at you sponsoring Ultimate Schmoedown, Rocha. Look at that.
Oh, someone was asking for the thing.
Of course, low key sponsoring it, not sponsoring, not sponsoring. Sorry.
People are so upset about it. It makes no sense to me. All right, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Yeah, see ya.
I always love when Andrew G comes in. It makes look, all I did was offer a platform for them to create one. I wanted one that was a show that was just people talking about the Schmoedown and not trying to get hot takes and get attention by shitting on other players. I wanted a show that, that I had something to do with, that I wanted to put out there for people to just analyze the matches and the players. And I think the guys have done a great job. And I've told them, if you want to come after me, come after me. You have every right to do whatever you want to do, whatever you guys feel. I don't control any of the content. All I did was take part in bringing this thing together. That's all. But I hear some people have been giving me shit on the Discords about it, and I don't understand why. I don't understand.
I say this jokingly. Like I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. If anything, I would wish more groups did it, honestly, because I would love it, to hear. Because I have to say, as an Action Army member,
laid the groundwork. I give all credit to what you guys did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's, as like an Action Army member, when we created the Call to Action group, obviously, the guys didn't ask us to, they don't partake in siege at all, obviously. But, at the same time, it's really cool that, individual, faction fans or certain competitor fans. Like, I love the idea that Outlaw Nation had, the Outlaw Nation as a fandom might have, some kind of, after show or something like that. Just because, everyone is different. Right. Every fandom is a little bit different. And, I feel like the after shows should definitely reflect that. So.
And and they do their own thing. Like I said, I don't control their content. What are they doing this week? Great. Go and do that. Do you need graphics? I'll get it for you. That's essentially my at this stage, my contribution to that show. When it was getting brought together, when people sent in tapes, Mike Shea and I watched all the tapes. We decided who we wanted to have on the show.
Tapes?
We lost
tapes.
Yeah, people sent it. We had them send
audition tapes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
the show to be good, and we wanted good people on it. We kick ourselves in the ass for not starting sooner. Or we would have had Jillian on the show as well as the fourth person. But Jillian took a certain point of view offer, and rightfully so. It was getting in motion quicker than ours, and we lost her. But we're working to get a woman onto the show, and hopefully we'll get her on by next week. We shall see. There's negotiations happening, so that'll be fun to have her on. So it's just a show that's a fun show, and I guess there's some. I've heard there are rumblings about a rivalry there between them and Let's Get Ready, and I hope that's for fun. I hope that's not anything serious. People are upset about it because I think rivalries are fun. They build up both channels and the attention for it. So I hope nothing negative is happening, Alex. Yeah.
I totally agree. And I think I actually love everyone that's involved with Ultimate Schmoedown. So there's no spec. I say with all fun, all the joy for sure, because it's fantastic. Also, it's, I'm just hoping, one, fandom, Schmoedown fandom might be able to really try to kick our ass a little bit being part of the Action Army, because we are still the best fandom when it comes to Schmoedown. So don't at me.
I respect that.
And we're amazing. And it's fun to have a little bit of a Schmoedown fandom rivalry now and again. So
it's good. Competition breeds an elevation. Yeah, exactly.
It raises us both.
Exactly. One last question. I got to run out of here. One last question live from Tushka Productions. What's up, Tushka? Am I saying it right now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have plenty of packages to offer for our small business services. There's things that we can definitely do. They are listening.
Oh, great. Good to know.
No. Good to see you too, Bob. I swear he's probably part of the Schmoeminati.
Oh, don't start that here.
No. Yes.
Don't start that here.
It is a Schmoeminati. Yeah. It is.
Hey, Ed, what's up, guys? Hey.
Go ahead.
Awesome show today. Did you get a chance to look over any of the Supreme Court ruling with Oklahoma, John?
I did not know, brother. Okay. I've been I'm going to spend some time with it over the weekend. And I will tell you this, I guess I can kind of hint at it. One of the two new shows that are coming to the Outlaw Nation in August will deal with issues just like that. It's going to be an overall political show, world issue show, and we will dive. Me and my co-host will dive, which I haven't announced yet. We will dive into these issues and these stories deeply and talk about them. And it's our way of educating other people who are part of our sphere about these very real issues that are happening in our world politically, happening in our world, or happening in our country rather, and happening in our world politically and socially. So this is a responsibility I feel like my channel needs to have. It's a reflection of who I am. So this show is coming very soon. We're doing a photo shoot for it next week. And so that will be one of the new shows we launch in August. It'll drop every 2 weeks, one new episode every 2 weeks. And I'm sure we'll touch upon that Supreme Court decision as well, Tushka, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I wasn't sure if this would be appropriate for this one. So since you didn't really read up on it.
Do you live?
Let's talk about the.
Oh, sorry. Do you live in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He's
I live in Southeast Oklahoma.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I actually work for my tribe too. So.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually alone in the office. So if you didn't know, I was acting.
You send me one of those shirts, dude. I'll rep the tribe, or I'll rep your company if you want. Yeah. Send me it. If it's loose fitting, send me a large. If it's a tighter, slim fit, send me an extra large. I put on some weight here, but yeah, go ahead.
There we go, man. Yeah, we'll definitely see you some swag. But no. So Schmoeminati. I mean, I'm telling you, like I was rolling on the floor. I feel like that was one of the best bits.
What do you mean
with Kalinowski and Guy? Oh my gosh.
What do you mean you're rolling on the floor? This is a very serious issue, and you're not taking it seriously, and I do not appreciate it. This is a real moment that we need to acknowledge the truth, guys. Everyone is involved. This guy's involved. I don't know that this guy is. The nerve of this behavior is troublesome.
Hey, people process information differently. For me, with serious issues, I just try to laugh it off a little bit. So that's what I was doing. Okay. You know, I'm no lie. I'm all in Guy's camp now. Like that is. That is. I mean, I'm going to start wearing tinfoil hats. You know what I mean? Like just inner liner. You know what I mean? Because definitely, I mean, they're listening to me right now, so I got to be careful. But yeah, I'm all for it. So I mean, John, I mean, I know you're in it, so you can't really speak too much on it. But
Listen, I don't.
100%. Like, dude, you hit the note right on the head.
That's someone else's storyline, and let them have fun with it. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just trying to beat Ethan Irwin. That's all I'm focused on.
It's a conspiracy.
Oh, sure.
Everyone is in on it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not hinting at anything, but I mean, Rocha does have a Guy Fawkes mask. So at the very least, I think he could be a very good advocate for this movement of truth and justice. Yeah. And and the best, sometimes you have to lead the movement quietly. So I understand if you're not making it public that you're a part of the movement against it. But we support you, brother. We're here for you.
Good to know. All right, I got to wrap this show up. I got to jump on SEN Live for God's sakes. Thank you, Tushka, before we jump on any of that Schmoedown. All right, good to see you, man. You look great. Thank you. All right, well, there you go. That was Tushka Productions. It's not Tavishka Productions like we've been saying it for many, many weeks. He corrected me the other day, and so I want to make sure I can correct other people about it as well. All right. Oh, geez, don't write something like Schmoedown on there. Please don't put something. I know you're going to do something. All right, well, thanks, everybody, for watching. Alex, where can they find you?
You can find me at Schmoedown on Twitter. You can find me right here on Twitter. It'd be really cool if you give me a follow. I'll talk about all my conspiracy theories surrounding Schmoedown because it's very real and all around us. So keep listening and be aware of what's going on around you. Yeah. I also co-host a show called Cinema Bias where you dive into our personal biases when it comes to directors, genres, and all that good stuff. Really challenge each other to really expand our wheelhouse and knowledge when it comes to all things movies. I do that every single Tuesday. And also, I'm a part of an awesome Schmoedown after show called Call to Action Podcast. Yeah. Please go check us out. I'd really appreciate it. And not to mention, I am actively looking for competitors to be in my Schmoebait debates. So I'd really appreciate it if that's something you're interested in, and give us a follow and come watch one of our episodes and let me know what you think.
There you go. Boom. All right. As we wrap up here, one last Streamlab from Seanberto. Sean, it's very kind. You did not have to do that. It's incredible donation. He said, New York Yankees are the best team of all time. So there you go. It's very true. The World Series, all the World Series we've won, prove that point. So shout out to Sean Barreto giving some love to the New York Yankees and my angry Cardinals co-host over there. Oh, boy. Yikes. There you go.
As a Cardinals descendant, how dare you?
Okay, that's
how
good.
Dare you?
All right, there you go. But you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. See all the content we dropped this week. Please go back and watch all of it. Give it some love. Give it some likes. Leave some comments. Please leave comments on this show as well. Give it some likes. Share it with with everybody you know on social media, and because it elevates the algorithm when you drop likes and comments and when you share it as well. So thank you all so much. And for Alex Shashek, I'm John Rocha, and we will see you on Monday with another brand new episode of Mornings with the Outlaw. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.